Afternoon, we begin with some very good news about a man who was trapped in a trench for several hours last night.
19-year-old Chase Ellis is in fair condition at Erlanger Medical Center. We were there last night when more than 100 people worked for hours to bring him out safely from that pit. News Channel 9's John Pless joins us from the scene now with the answers to some very important questions. John?
And good evening to you, Calvin and Kim. You know, now that we know that Chase Ellis is making a recovery after a very, very close call, state investigators with TOSHA, the Tennessee Occupational and Safety Health Administration, want to make sure that all this sewer work that's being done here on Heathwood Drive is being done safely and within the law. That's Chase Ellis being loaded into the back of Life Force. Doctors say it was critical for him to get to Erlanger as quickly as possible after being buried under a crushing blanket of heavy clay. More than 100 people with fire and rescue teams from 2 counties spent 4 hours building safety braces to make sure the trench Ellis was in would not collapse any further. They used hand tools and a heavy vacuum hose to clear the dirt inch by inch. He was buried up to his chest. As teams kept IVs going into Ellis, doctors and paramedics were worried about crushing injuries and his blood beginning a natural reaction where the body thinks it's dying.
From a medical standpoint, we have to be very careful as we get some of that pressure off of them that we correct any electrolyte or metabolic abnormalities, acids that might build up in a safe way so that we give them enough but not too much buffer.
Ellis was buried in the trench while laying a sewer line with Allied Civil Contracting. The contractor was in fact using one of these large steel trench boxes inside the hole as is required by all kinds of safety regulations. So the question now is, with this in place last night, how in the world did all that dirt come tumbling down on Chase Ellis?
It's supposed to be even with or above grade, and then you're not supposed to operate below the bottom of the box. And the top of the box was at least 2 foot below grade, and they were operating, his feet were about 17 foot below grade. So with the math, he was about 4.5 foot below the bottom of the box.
It appears the clay walls collapsed and filled the box from the sides. The rescue is a success, and hopefully the recovery is successful too.
We'll probably have some degree of some compression and crush injury to his legs, but hopefully minimal. I did speak with some of Chase's co-workers today, and they say he is expected to get out of intensive care and get into a regular room, if you will, at Erlanger Medical Center. And doctors tell me quick work by his co-workers really saved his life. We're told they actually got in that trench after it collapsed. They got on their hands and knees and actually pushed the sides of the walls of all that dirt to hold it. And they were also trying to scoop it away as it was filling in that trench because it was covering up to his chest here. So it was their quick work that was able to stabilize the situation before the emergency teams got here. As I mentioned, TOSHA is investigating, and people in Nashville tell me it'll take 4 to 6 weeks before their investigation is complete and they come out with their report. We'll certainly know what they'll find.